What up, party people? My name is Lauren Miller. I'm super excited that you decided to join me today. For those of you who are new, welcome. Like I said, I'm Lauren Miller. I'm 19 years old, living out in Georgia. I go to Georgia University. I'm a political science major. That's pretty much everything. Oh, if you're into zodiacs, I'm a Sag. If you're into Enneagrams, I'm 3. And that's a little bit about me. If you're not new, welcome back. I'm so happy that you decided to come back. If you're black, if you're a teen, if you're a Christian, if you're a girl, there's something here for you. If you fit into any of those 4 categories. Guys, I just want to say right now it is 1:40 in the morning. Well, it's 12:40, but time goes forward. And this is going to come out the same day. So, and I'm acting like I don't have to get up at 5:45 in the morning. But we're gonna rock and roll. And we're just gonna see how today, it's today, not tomorrow. I'm going to see how I feel in a couple of hours. I feel like I'll be fine. I have a lot of energy right now. I don't know why. I think I just had a lot of sugar, so hoping I don't crash tomorrow. Well, today, I keep saying tomorrow because tomorrow feels like Sunday, but today is Sunday, so there is that. So top 3 music choices of the week. Remember by Forward City, Travis Green featuring Titus Tucker. I love the song. I feel like the song is great. Y'all know how I feel about Forward City and Travis Green, so there that is. Number 2 is Tye Tribbett released. Y'all know I've been bragging about his album. He released the live version from his album release. Of course, it's banger because his original album is a banger, so there is that. And number 3, again, Todd Galbraith and Encounter will never not be a great album. There's no skips. The entire album is great. The production is great. The BGVs are great. The leads are great. The band is great. It's just perfection. So there is that. Okay. Today we're just going to talk about a couple of things that just kind of came to mind. I've been seeing a lot of people post about like, oh my God, it's already March. And let me just say this. It doesn't matter when you're listening to this podcast, but right now I'm going to talk about the actual day. But you may be listening to this any time of the year or any year at all. It may be 2030 and you're listening to this. That's fine. But a lot of people have been posting about, oh my God, it's March. Where did the time go? It was just January, it was just February. And I agree the time. I agree the time is moving rather quickly. Feels like we just started the new year. We're just bringing in 2023 and it's already almost 1 quarter down. But here's what I want to remind you of. Revisit. The goals you've had, the wins, the successes. The successes? Is that a word? Successes? The wins, the losses, the victories. There we go. Because we don't know if successes is a word. Somebody tell me. Success? I think the plural of success is just success. Anyway, clearly I need to go to class. Anyway, and just reevaluating what this year was supposed to be for us. I know I said at the beginning of the year, I want to do this. I wanted to make more money. I wanted to get more opportunities. I want to do this. And I think in the busyness of our days sometimes, whether that's school or a job or relationships or whatever, things that require work, we can forget how much progress we've made. So I'm looking back at I write everything down. So I'm looking back at it and I'm like, a lot of these goals I've had for myself, I'm already smashing them. You know what I mean? Or a lot of the prayers I've been praying for myself, I'm starting to see the little manifestations. Or even like, I wanted to get more into my word this year, my Bible, for those of you who are confused. I wanted to get more into my Bible. And I had been feeling, I have like an old New King James Version Bible, but it's like tore up. I had it since I was a little girl. I wanted a new Bible. And my church and just the people I follow, a lot of them read from the NASB, and I like that version too. And I believe it's one of the most word for word translations. So, because Bibles can be word for word or thought for thought. But anyway, so I was like, okay, I'm going to get one. I found one on Amazon. I love it. When I say having a paper Bible, it just, for me, it makes it easier than doing like the online YouVersion Bible. I just don't enjoy that as much. I like the crispness of the page. The only thing I like about this Bible in particular, The pages are a little thin, so when I highlight or like underline with the pen, if I do it kind of hard, or just in general, you can kind of see it on the other side, but it doesn't bother me all that like much. Plus, I have a really light pink highlighter, so it, I like these neutral highlighters, so it shouldn't be that bad, but it has really elevated my time with God, especially considering like when my Bible was on my phone or my laptop. I'm going to the Bible, but I see I have missed messages, or a missed call or whatever. So having that paper Bible that keeps me away from my phone or away from my laptop sometimes when I tend to be a little distracted has really been a plus for me. And like, it's good muscle memory. Who wants to be on their phone all the time? Like, it's just a difference. I don't know why it's a difference in the physical copy. I don't know the science behind that. I'm sure there's some kind of science behind it, but getting my paper Bible has drastically changed my devotional time and just my time with God in general. And that's what I said I wanted for this year. I was like, well, I want to spend more time with God. I want to be more consistent with reading my Bible, reading, praying, all that kind of stuff. And I think it helped me a lot. And having it like so accessible, even if I'm laying down in my bed, being able to grab it and like, being led to a certain scripture or a certain book of the Bible, has helped me. It's almost like a textbook. I don't know if any of you have ever had like online textbooks. They're cool because you don't have to carry them. But sometimes having those actual pages just really, really do it. All that to say, looking back on my goals for this year, I'm doing a lot. And then I think I don't blame everything on the devil. I don't think the devil is just this big ball of power. I don't give him that much credit. I just don't believe everything is the devil. However, I think the devil can send discouragement your way, because at the same rate I was going, oh my God, like I'm doing these great things, I also was like, there are a couple things that I feel like in order for me to be on track for this year, I haven't done yet. And it's easy for you to fall into that slippery slope of like, well, I'm not doing this and I'm not doing it. And that's I will almost say I fell into that little loop this week. Like, for those of you who know me, I love cleaning my room. I like the smell of I love the smell of chemicals. If it ain't bleach, it's Pine Sol. If it ain't Pine Sol, it's Fabuloso. If it ain't Fabuloso, it's Febreze. I like to smell freshness in my room. I vacuum every day. Like, I wipe down my door handles and all the handles I use every day to kind of minimize on germs and sickness. But I just like the smell and like the feeling of having things clean. And so this week, I just found myself I just kept putting it off. Like, I didn't feel like doing it. I was just like, I had clothes I hadn't folded, or just clothes I would just take them off and put them in a pile like on my desk. And I was like, this is getting ridiculous. And I got a little discouraged. I'm like, I wouldn't say I was depressed because I didn't feel depressed, but it just felt like I was unproductive. And I already struggle with feeling like my value is tied to my production, the rate of my production. If I'm not, producing something, who am I? I already struggle with that. So being that I'm not getting, being in a, I don't want to say a holding pattern, but being stuck is really challenging when you feel like your worth is tied to you not being stuck and being productive. And so it was just a really weird week for me. I feel great. I feel much, 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 much better. Like, I got my room cleaned, finally did everything I wanted to do on my to-do list for this today, and that made me feel really good. I got to spend time with some friends today. That was really good. I love them, and they support me and lift me up. So that was lots of fun. But I was so, and mind you, I was feeling that way before I looked at my goals and things for 2023. So when I opened that up, it made it worse. I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then I felt like Holy Spirit was like, okay, but look what you have done. You said you wanted to do this. You said you wanted these opportunities. You said you wanted to, do X, Y, and Z, and you're doing it. I said, wow. I am doing it. And the amount of joy and relief I felt knowing that no matter what, I'm one, making progress even though I may not be able to see it. Two, I am not what I do. I struggle with that really bad. If you subscribe to the Enneagram things, I know some people think, other thoughts, but if you're into the Enneagram, again, I'm a 3. It's hard because it's just like what I do and who I am the line seems so blurred at times, and consistently reminding myself that, like, hey, with or without this, you're still Lauren. This is great that you can do this. This is great that you can produce this. But your character is what makes you, you. Your personality is what makes you, you. So if you never do that job again, if you never sing that song again, write a song again, do whatever you do, you are still you. You bring you to the table. And it's easy to say that, but it's different to believe it and to carry that in every moment. And that's what I'm working on. I think that's what I'm working on for March, is really allowing myself to build my character and focus on that. Even like I'm very big on compliments. A lot of the time, the compliments about what I do, I take those more to heart than who I am. I have to stop that. I want my character to match all the great things I'm doing. And so I think you just need time to pause and revisit. But revisit your 2023 plan. If you don't have any 2020 plans, make some. I'm not saying you have to live and die by those, but it's good to have a general roadmap of some things you want to do, and to look back at them and just take a minute and breathe it in and breathe it out and just meditate and think. Why do I want these things? Think about your motives and all of that. You have to revisit. You have to revisit. Even if it's past events. Lately, things that trigger me, why did that trigger me? I revisit the event. Okay. When you said this triggered me because when I was 3, and it helps me to become a stronger person. But revisit your goals, revisit your dreams, revisit all of that. Not only to see how far you've come, but to recheck those motives and to see how you changed. Some things that you wanted in January, maybe you don't want them anymore. Why? Have you grown or have you become discouraged? Evaluate, reevaluate your life, your mind, your motives, your heart, all of that. We evolve, we press on. Y'all know how I love evolution. We evolve, we press on, we grow. We change, we shift, we feel, we move. It's okay to go back and say, okay, I said I wanted this in 2023, but I don't know why I wanted this. I think it's okay to sit that in the back burner for a second. I know I want this because X, Y, and Z. I don't really want this anymore. I only felt this way because I was going through a breakup and blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is. It is okay to reevaluate, revisit, and change your plans. If you don't have plans, that's also okay. You have desires in your heart. You have things you want to accomplish before you die. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. We're not guaranteed the next minute. All of that is by God's grace, first of all. What do I want to do? And who do I want to be? Why do I want to be that person? And I think when you find the why, when you find the who, when you find the why, then the what becomes more easy. So if I say, let me break that down. So if I say, let's start with the who. I want to be a good person. Why? Those around me deserve the best version of me, and I do too. What? I go to therapy to make sure that I don't bleed on others. Do that? Because I want to be a good person, because people around me deserve it and I deserve it, then it causes me to do whatever I said I'm going to do. That applies to you too. Who? I want to be consistent and have discipline. Why? That makes people successful. What? I'm going to get up at 6 a.m. every day, even though I don't feel like it, and go to the gym. Or I'm going to get off social media. Or I'm going to stop watching stuff that's bad for me. Or I'm going to stop eating bad food. Whatever your goal is. Whatever it is. Finding that what. Finding the who leads to the why, and the why leads to the what. And you just keep going. So if you have plans, I encourage you to look back then with that mindset. And if you don't have plans, make some. Or just revisit these past 3 months. What are things you liked? What are things you didn't like? What are things you want to improve upon in the next quarter? What are things you can do in the next, today's the 12th? This month we have 31 days. So what do you want to do in the next 19 days? What can be accomplished in the next 19 days? If it's physical, I want to drink more water every day, a liter of water. I want to lose X amount of pounds. If it's mental, I want to listen to a positive podcast. I want to meditate more. If it's spiritual, I want to read a chapter a day of the Bible. I want to do this. I want to do that. Whatever it is, you have 19 days. If you haven't done anything yet, what can be done in those days? Okay, what can be done in the next quarter? Okay, what can be done in the next 2 quarters? Okay, what can be done, by the end of the year? I think having an outline and having passion and reason behind that outline is going to allow you to be successful and to capitalize on the rest of 2023. I love that. I love y'all. I thank y'all so much for joining me. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you can follow me at Lauren Miller __. TikTok, I think it's Lauren Miller. Or that's Lauren Miller, one of those. Yeah, feel free to hit me up, DM me, all the great things. I love you guys so much. Thank you for joining me. Again, if you're Black, if you're a girl, if you're a Christian, if you're a teen, there's something here for you. Thank you for coming. God only made one you. Be you and be brave. Mwah.